YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Tone Ross. I'm back again today with another video, and today we're going to be doing a haircut tutorial showing you guys how I cut my hair and my process and the steps I take to get that done. If you're new here, I make videos about music production, also photography. I vlog my lifestyle as a musician, artist, vocal producer, and today, this will be my second video about hair stuff and how to do men's grooming and things of that nature. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hey, and go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like the video, and at the end, go ahead and leave me a nice comment. Let me know what you think. So to kick his haircut off right, you want to make sure that you comb through the hair, getting everything lifted up, getting it loose, and so that the teeth of the blade can actually run through your hair super easy and it won't snag. Especially if you're a waver, you want to make sure that you detangle your hair and unmat it, because sometimes when you wear your do-rag, it gets matted down and gets squashed down. So you want to loosen that up so you can get the hair to flow right. Today I'm going to be cutting my hair down with a number 2 guard with the lever open, and that means if you're looking at the clipper head on, you're pulling that lever all the way down so that it's open and the two blades are not close together. So when you do it with the lever open, it cuts off less hair than with the lever closed. I didn't want to cut my hair down super short, still wanted it to be dark so you can kind of see the definition of my waves. So here we go, number 2 guard open. Yeah, so if you have 360 waves, one thing that you want to keep in mind is to make long, smooth strokes through your hair with that clipper, just to make sure that you're not snagging anything or causing any bald spots. You want to make sure everything is really smooth and you're taking it slow so that you're not making any mistakes. This is one of the perks of cutting your own hair that you don't really get a chance to do at the barbershop. It's always cool to brush out all of the straggly hairs and the hairs that got cut off that are still on your head after you've cut it down to your desired length. This also puts your hair in the right place, especially if you got waves. You want them waves to lay right so that when you're looking at your hair in the mirror during your fade, that you make sure you see your waves the way you want them to be. So do a quick brush session to get everything in order. I'm using the Torino Pro 606, which I will leave in the description box below. The red brush is also a Torino Pro. I can't remember the number or the name of it, but I will also leave the description for brushking.org down in the description below. Yo, so the first step in your fade is to make your bald line. I'm using the Andis Slimline Pro Li to make that bald line, and you want to make it at kind of a diagonal. I'm doing more of a high mid taper on my wave, so I want to make that line just right at the corner of my box area and slant it down towards the top of my ear. Also remember, this is a step that I got from the homie Get Beamed, one of the dopest barbers out here on YouTube. He incorporates this step called brush one, fade one. So after you've made that bald line, you want to make sure you brush down your hair to get everything back in place and get it in order for you to do the next step. The next step right here is to go up about 1/2 inch with that lever open. Remember I talked about having the lever open on your clipper earlier, because that cuts off less hair. So you want to go up about 1/2 inch from that bald line to make your next line. Right here, I put on my number 2 guard just to go down on the area right above where I just set that number 1 guard open, just to make it thinner. Another YouTuber I follow, it's a really dope barber, says that the thinner the area, the easier to fade. So you want to just bring that down just so you don't cut off any of the waves, but you still want to make it thin. Right here, you want to slap on your number 1 guard, keep the lever open, and go up another 1/2 inch just to make your second panel area for your fade. You can see this a little bit easier if you're paying attention to my video. And you want to scoop out when you're going up. So you don't want to just go up and keep a harsh line, keeping the clipper up against your head. You'll see here I'm making like a C shape with my clipper coming out from my head. That's called flicking out. So you want to just kind of scoop out a little bit just so that you're kind of feathering your hair to make the fade. Depending on which system you're using, the Andis system for your guards or the wall system for your guards, this step you want to either use the 0.5 guard if you're using wall or the 0 guard if you're going Andis. And you want to kind of set the lever towards the middle, or if you want to just play it safe, keep it open all the way. And take out the middle line. So we went up about a ½ inch with the no guard, just the lever open. Then we went up about another ½ inch with the 1 guard open. Now you're taking out the line that's right in between. And this can be a little bit difficult, so you have to take your time. But one thing to keep in mind is that you want to start at the line or start under the line and flick up to the line. You don't want to chase the fade up your head. So take it really slow. 0 guard open or 0.5 guard open, and take out that middle line. This is a major hack right here. So you want to make sure that you take your mirror, your hand mirror, and give yourself a side look into the larger mirror on the wall. This allows you to see the fade dead on as other people would see it. And it helps you to see the dark spots in the area that you haven't removed, see if there's still a line there, or if you're able to move on to the next step. Okay, so the last step in this fading process is to take out that initial bald line that you made with the Andis Slimline Pro Li. Now, initially you want to use the clipper. You might have to double back with the actual trimmer that you made the line with, but the same rules apply here as I'm taking out the middle line with the 0 guard or the ½ guard. You want to make sure that that lever is closed, or at least halfway closed, no guard on there, and then use your corners to kind of pick at that line to remove it, and then your fade will be complete. Alright, so it's time to do the beard now. The same steps apply that you did for the first fade. You want to run it back the exact same way, and just kind of like a reverse order, because the hair is not at the top, it's at the bottom. But the same steps apply, and you want to make sure that that fade looks good, going from dark to nothing, and then from nothing to dark, going up from your beard to your hair on the side. So the scariest part of the haircut is definitely that back taper. So again, you want to follow the same steps as you did on the side taper, but this time you're relying heavily on that hand mirror. So you want to make sure that you practice getting in that mirror and making sure that you can see everything and you can make straight lines with your clipper. Now, one thing that's helped me out is being able to practice with the clipper off. So keep the clipper off without turning it on, and make sure that you can see what you're doing. Kind of pretend like you're making a line in the back, just so that you're getting used to what that looks like. Sometimes I forget to tell her that I'm filming, and yeah, so let's get back into the haircut. Now, for people that got 360 waves, probably the most important part of their haircut is that lineup. Lineup brings everything together. It shows you the inconsistencies in your fade or how dope your fade is. But I'm using the Andis GTX, and what I like to do is kind of start in the middle and move the clipper to the left and to the right to get that line in the front kind of straight, and make sure that I'm not pushing it back too much. Sometimes you might have to take a little bit more hair off to make it a straight line, but that's a call that you have to make when you're cutting your own hair. But just be careful, or you're gonna have to be wearing a hat for a couple of weeks. I would also suggest practicing with the clipper off in this scenario as well, just so you're able to get ambidextrous with it and use your left or your right hand when necessary, so that you don't have to contort your arm all different kind of ways to get the lines straight. I actually meant to use the liquid razor Spritz on my lineup, but I forgot and just started cutting. So here we are. I'm going to use it on my beard area, and this just kind of locks your hair in, especially if it's curly or wavy. It locks the hair in once it dries and it won't move. It also creates a really sharp ash line to let you know what it looks like after you got done cutting, to make sure that every hair has been cut in that area. So line and Spritz also does not clog up your clippers. There are some spritzes out there that are kind of, really thick, and they end up messing up your clippers. So you want to make sure that you get a brand that is a thinner one, and that's specifically for lining up. There aren't many tips that I can give you as far as like lining up your facial hair. I think it's important to just have a vision for what you want to do, and again, do a dry run practicing with that clipper off, just to make sure that you're comfortable getting into the areas where you want to make sharp lines or curved lines. Now, when you're doing the beard, eventually you'll see me do that in a second, you want to make sure that you're using the corners of that blade as well. The corners allow you to use them almost like a pencil to draw a curved line when you're curving your beard up to the sideburn area. Yo, I want to say thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Yo, please drop a like, drop a comment, and please subscribe. In your comment, let me know what's your favorite haircut. Are you cutting your hair during quarantine? Are you back at the shop as your state opened up? Let me know what's happening. Hey, and I love y'all. Keep living, because your very best days are still yet to come. And I'll see you in the next one.